What is going on, everybody? This is John Blanco from the Dads After Dark show, and I am here with a first look at Life is Strange Remastered. It came out today, September 27th, for the Switch. I think we've been waiting like a year for this. I think it was last E3? Gosh, it feels like so long ago. I think it was last E3 when they announced this was coming to the Switch. And, oh man. This game is developed by Deck 9 Games, published by Square Enix, and let's not forget that the original version was made by Don't Nod. And first of all, I just want to thank the Nintendo Dads for giving me the opportunity to do this first look, which is really more of like a 12th look, as we'll load it up here. Boom. More of a 12th look. If you know me just a little bit, you know that Life is Strange is my favorite game of all time. I don't hide that. I've played through it many times. Oh my gosh. I've played through it on the Xbox. I've replayed it on the Xbox. I've 100%ed it on the Xbox. Played it on the PS4. 100%ed it on the PS4. I've played the prequel, Before the Storm. It's just fantastic. And actually, more recently, I've played the Life is Strange Remastered on PS5. So, yeah, and now I officially own all three of the games on all three of the consoles all of the time. But anyway, I know this game backwards and forwards, so it's not really a first look. I kind of think about it about every day. It's just one of those games that gets in your head. So thank you, Nintendo Dads, for letting me walk you guys through the opening moments of this game. And I'm excited to play it on Switch. This is the first time I'm playing it on Switch, and I'm hoping for the best. Just press A. One of the great little title screens of all time. Just so much. So when this remastered came out for the other consoles, it had some problems. It had some bugs. It had some rendering issues. It was not a smooth experience. And in fact, I didn't play it, I think, for a couple months. And I still ran into some issues. But I remember this first screen having some glitches, and I knew we were in some trouble. So with the remastered, they unlock all the episodes. So you can play any of these episodes. A lot of these remasters and remakes will do that. They figure, okay, you've played the original, you can do whatever you want now. Obviously, start at episode 1. If you've never played this before, don't go skipping ahead. But, for the veterans that maybe want to play, episode 3 has a fantastic ending where they want to play through the, sort of the memories of episode 5, I guess. But clearly start at 1. And I remember playing the remaster on the PS5, and the frame rate was like 30. When the original game was 60, it was shocking. And you noticed it right away on that title screen. I expect the frame rate to be a little down. But, you don't expect that on a PS5. So if you're not familiar with Life is Strange, it is a story-based game. It's a narrative. You're going to make choices. You're going to move around. You're going to do some exploration. It's not an action game. But there are some action elements to it, and there's a time mechanic. It's the most video gamey of all the Life is Strange games. That's why my favorite. So this is Max.
Where am I? What's happening?
It's Caulfield if you need to know.
I'm trapped in a storm? How did I get here? And where is here? Wait, there's the lighthouse. I'll be safe if I can make it there. I hope. Please let me make it there.
This storm. And there's really nothing you can interact with on this part. So my first impressions are, it doesn't feel like it has that same low frame rate lag that I remember experiencing on the PS5, so that's nice. I'll show you Max here. She's got a very famous shirt on. Jane Doe. Shirt is a joke. So we're just going to slowly make our way up this hill. Now, the remaster takes the original game and it improves the graphics. Didn't really make any changes to vocalization. They did do some motion capture work with the faces. Honestly, it's hard to tell. You kind of have to see them side by side. And when I played through the remaster, I was wondering if there was any changes. But then when you watch the original, you're like, okay, it is. It's just not as much. Let me get up to this bench.
Holy shit.
I'm going to try to get a sense of the load times here. Obviously, you want some shorter load times if you want to stay in the story. Probably a little longer than we want. A little longer than normal for sure.
Whoa. That was so surreal.
Famously called film,
You can see how that delay kind of takes you out of the story for a
but he
second.
could be talking about photography, as he likely was.
Okay, I'm in class. Everything's cool. I am okay.
From light to shadow, from color to chiaroscuro. Now, can you give me an example of a photographer who perfectly captured the human condition in
I
black and
didn't
white?
fall asleep, and that sure didn't feel like a dream.
Bueller?
Weird.
Diane Arbus.
There you go, Victoria. Why Arbus?
Okay, so
Because
class
of
is
her
going
images of
on.
hopeless faces.
This gives us a
You
time to
feel like
interact
totally
with the
haunted
stuff
by
on the
the eyes
table
of
in
those
front of us.
sad mothers and children.
Look at this crap. How can I show this to Mr.
Now, one of the
Jefferson?
important things in any Life is
I
Strange
can hear
game
the
is
class
there is
laughing at me
very
now.
specific things you have to do, you know, mainline if you want to call it that,
She saw
to advance the
humanity
game.
as tortured, right?
Right? I know the
And
thing that I
frankly,
need
it's
to do.
bullshit.
But there's all these
I should
extra
take a
things you
picture
can
to
do. And the
prove
first
I'm
time you
still
play through
here.
the game, you
Plus
might
it's
not know
perfect
what it
for when I
is.
have to get my daily selfie
But
quota.
I always enjoy kind of taking a look
Moment
at
of
things.
desperation. And any one
Look at
of you could
everything.
do that to me.
If anybody else
The journal's a
looked at
very
this, what
interesting
would they
piece of
think?
backstory. You can see in this journal, July 10th, 2013, I got accepted into Blackwell Academy. That's where we are right now. Basically, the story is Max lived here in Arcadia Bay, Oregon, and I'll kind of go through this. You can see her. She eventually moves. But she lived in Arcadia Bay, Oregon with her best friend, Chloe. And then her family had to move to Seattle. So she moved to Seattle. And now, you know, she lost touch with Chloe. She wasn't really good with keeping up with it. Chloe was going through some really hard times, which we'll find out about. And now she is back in Arcadia Bay because she is in Blackwell Academy, which is you got one of those fancy schools you have to test to get in and all that. And she's doing a photography class. But if you take a look at the journal, it'll show you the characters that you've met. It'll show you the chapters, some other secrets, and then you can find her phone, which you can play this game without ever looking at the phone. But if it's your first time through, you should definitely kind of study the phone. You can see the text conversations going on with people that are going to be in the game. And, you know, as you go through, you can see like all these texts have a backstory. We can see it's Maxine's birthday, all that stuff. The fact that her mom calls her Maxine.
Isn't that too easy?
Okay,
Too
so
obvious?
first thing that you're going
What
to
if
need to
Arbus
do to
chose
advance the
capture people at
storyline,
the height of their beauty or innocence. She had a brilliant eye,
take a selfie.
so she could have taken another approach.
I
Shh. I believe Max has taken what you kids call a selfie. A dumb word for a wonderful photographic tradition. And Max has a gift. Of course, as you all know, the photo portrait has been popular since the early 1800s. your generation was not the first to use images for selfie expression. Sorry, I couldn't resist. The point remains that the portraiture has always been a vital
I think
aspect
I've played
of
through
art
this scene
and
100,000
photography for
times.
as long as it's been around. Now, Max, since you've captured our interest and clearly want to join the conversation, can you please tell us the name of the process that gave birth to
So
the
you can see if you look at the faces,
self-portraits?
I mean, they don't compare to what we see today
You're asking me?
in a lot of very modern
let me
games.
think.
And what Deck 9 Games did
You either know
was sort of
this
take this
or not,
game, do
Max.
some
Is there
updated
anybody here
graphics,
who
but they
knows
also
their
did
stuff?
Louis
facial
Daguerre was
motion
a French
capture.
painter who created daguerreotypes.
It doesn't
a
look
process that gave portraits a
like
sharp,
a huge
reflective style,
deal,
like a
but if you
mirror.
compare it to the
Now you're
original
totally
game, it
stepping
is
in
an
my thrill
improvement.
zone. Sad face.
I think
Very
that
good,
they wanted to
Victoria.
do a lot
The
more.
Daguerrean process brought out
I
fine
think they
detail
wanted
in
to
people's
do
faces,
a lot
making them
more,
extremely
but
popular
I
from
think
the
over
1800s
time they
onward.
realized
The first
they can't.
American daguerreotype
And
self-portrait
so
was
what
done
we
by
ended
Robert
up getting was
Cornelius.
maybe not
You can find out
what
all
Deck
about
9
him
wanted to do.
in your textbook,
But
or
we did
even
get a lot of
online.
improvements and that sort of stuff in the
Hey
game.
guys,
So,
don't forget the deadline to submit a photo in the Everyday Heroes
the original game was
contest. I'll fly out with the
2015,
winner to
so
San
that's kinda
Francisco,
what we're
where
talking
you'll be
about
feted by the art
timeline-wise.
world. It's great exposure, and it can kickstart a career in photography. So Stella
and if we
Alyssa,
compare the
get it
graphics
together.
of this game
Taylor,
to some of the
don't
later
hide.
entries, Life is
I'm
Strange
still
2
waiting for
looks a
your
lot
entry too.
better.
And yes, Max,
True
I
Colors
see you
looks
pretending not to see me.
incredible. And then even the prequel to this game, which came later, looks a lot better than this one. This one was definitely the weakest graphically. Okay, so we can go
Victoria
up and
doesn't
talk to
waste a
Mr.
second
Jefferson to
kissing
advance the
ass.
timeline, but you can see, like, there's all these other things that you can do. Do I need to talk to Kate? No.
Hi,
But
Kate.
it's
Oh.
really best to kind
Hi,
of
Max.
really explore the environment. And my favorite
You
part about
seem
this game,
quiet
it makes
today.
it my favorite, is
Just
that
thinking
Max
too much.
internalizes a lot. And I think they pick up on that in some other games too.
I think
She
Victoria
internalizes
has
a lot,
already
so
won
as
the
she looks at
contest.
things, as she talks to
As
people, she
usual.
will
She's
kind
got
of
nothing
talk to
on you,
herself.
Max.
She's thinking to
Well, I
herself, and
should
you're
get
there to hear
going.
it.
Yeah,
And you
me
can
too.
really hear,
Talk to you later.
kind of a girl in the
Sure.
world. She's, she's not super popular or anything like that. Just kind of making it through school. She gets a little bit bullied. But you can go and explore, look at notebooks,
I
take
should
a
have
look
known.
at stuff.
She'll have better equipment than Blackwell.
There's lots of little jokes and stuff like that in here. And as you get further into the game, which you'll find, see these etched marks? If I click Y to take a photo, she's going to grab her little Polaroid, take a little picture. See, it says Rachel Amber Forever. That's important. And let's see what happens here. I don't think we're going to get it. So in any other console, you would get an achievement or something to that effect. I think we might have to look at our journal. So if we press minus, let's see. Are these the photos? Okay, yeah. So if you come to this page, you'll see episode 1, and if you click on it, there should be 10 or 12, 3 or 5. There's 10. So there should be about 10, and you can see these are all the pictures that I've taken. So you see Rachel Amber Forever. Now also you'll see hints to the pictures as well if you look here, and you can actually see these directly in the achievements on Xbox. But see the one right under Rachel Amber Forever is just a big set of photos. All of these will give you really good hints. These are actually really good hints to where to find these photos. But there's 10 in every chapter, so there's 50 throughout the game.
Excuse me.
So the way
Mr.
I would advise
Jefferson,
playing
can I
is you
talk
kind
to
of
you for a
play through
moment?
the game
Yes.
once, make the
Excuse
decisions
you.
you want to
No,
make,
Victoria.
see how they turn out.
Excuse us.
And then
I'd
usually the
never let one
second
of
time I play
photography's
through,
future
just
stars
not just
avoid
Life is Strange, but any
handing in
narrative
pictures.
game, try to take maybe the opposite major decision of everything.
I didn't have
So
any
just
time.
to see what everything
Way
does.
too much homework.
By that time, you get a
Max,
really good
you're a better
idea
photographer
of,
than a liar.
like
I know it's a
what's
drag
better.
to hear
What
some
are the
old
really good
dude
things that
lecture
happen? You get an idea
But
of which
life
one you
won't
really
wait for
want to
you
do.
play catch up.
And
You're
then by a
young, the world
third
is yours,
playthrough,
blah,
and
blah,
if
blah,
you
right?
want to,
But you do
you
have
try
a
to put
gift.
together your
You
best
have
game.
a fever to take images.
And there's definitely
to
some
find the world
options
only
here
the
early
way
on. We'll
you
have
envision it.
an option with
Now,
Victoria,
all
who's
you
the
need
girl
is
standing
the
over here,
courage to
flirting
share
with
your
the
gift
teacher.
with others. And that's what separates the artist from the amateur.
Now, the nice thing with the photos is if you want to try to get all the photos, if, you're trophy hunting or whatever it is, then you can actually replay individual scenes that don't, save, and you can get all the photos. You don't have to play through the game. So now here's one of my favorite scenes in gaming,
I was about to.
the hallway scene
Into
to
the
open
real
it up.
world.
Hot. Then I might send you a special picture during class.
What's the point of even because Max wants everybody to see how hip she is.
And graphically, it's really not bad.
I need a serious timeout in the bathroom.
You can definitely tell they did some
Splash water on my face
alternate
and
programming
make sure
for
I
this.
don't
It doesn't
look like
look
a
quite up to
total
par with the
loser.
consoles, but it's really not bad. It's great we can play this portably.
She's so
Max
fucking
puts the
shy.
headphones in. Don't Nod Entertainment. Try to pay attention.
Except for me.
You won't forget what you need to do. Now this scene sets the whole
I feel like the
mood of
universe
the
is
game.
taunting me everywhere I go today. It all started with that bizarro dream in class. Am I going crazy?
Now you can see the sink. You can look at more stuff. You can come over here.
The last time I got a flu shot, I got the flu. Fuck you.
I love it. All right. Yeah, but really so far, I'm pretty impressed with it. You can definitely see some little visual glitches at times, things popping in.
Just relax.
But it's not
Stop
bad.
torturing yourself.
It's just
You
great to have this on
a
Switch now.
gift.
I remember when they announced it, I said,
Fuck it.
just play the original. Just put the original on Switch so it doesn't test it as much, but that's not really how development goes. They need to port it over.
When a door closes, a window opens. Or something like that. Okay, girl, you don't get a photo op like this every day.
Okay, so we have a butterfly in a pail, and we're a photographer. We're going to take a photo.
It's cool, Nathan. Don't stress. You're okay, bro. Just count to 3.
Why are you in the
Don't be scared. You own this school. If I wanted, I could blow it up. You're the boss. So what do you want?
I hope you checked the perimeter, as my step-ass would say. Now, let's talk business.
I got nothing for you.
Wrong. You got hella cash.
That's my family, not me.
Oh, boo-hoo, poor little rich kid. I know you've been pumping drugs and shit to kids around here. I bet your respectable family would help me out if I went to them. Man, I can see the headlines now.
Leave them out of this, bitch!
I can tell everybody Nathan Prescott is a punk-ass who begs like a little girl and talks to himself.
You don't know who the fuck I am or who you're messing around with.
Where'd you get that? What are you doing? Come on, put that thing down!
Don't ever tell me what to do. I'm so sick of people trying to control me!
You are going to get in hella more trouble for this than drugs.
Nobody would ever even miss your punk ass, would they?
Get that gun away from me, psycho!
No!
Whoa. What the fuck? How can that be? I was
Right.
in the bathroom. He shot that poor girl. I held up my hand. And then I was back here.
As he likely was. These pieces of time can frame us in
I
our
already
glory
heard this lecture.
and sorrow. From light to shadow.
So now we're back to where we were, and
Now
she's
Kate is
trying to
being
figure out
hassled
what the
again.
heck just happened.
And if Victoria's phone rings, this is real.
Now, can you give me an example of a
Man, I
photographer
cannot
who
believe
perfectly
this.
captured
The
human
phone and the
condition in
camera are
black
so
and white?
interesting. The
Okay,
phone
if I'm
in when
crazy,
the game first
I might as well
released
go all the way.
displayed itself way
Can
too
I
quickly,
actually reverse time?
There you go, Victoria.
and
Why Arbus?
so like it was
Because of her
on,
images of
and she's like,
hopeless
if that phone
faces,
goes off, but
you
it was
feel
already
totally
ringing,
haunted by
and that
the-
was a bug they fixed. Oh, I'm sorry, I was talking. I forgot to like do what I need to do. Hold on. So see how it says press ZL to rewind, and you can see in the top left corner, the spiral is doing its thing,
I
and whoop.
did it.
Now,
I
can you give me
actually
an
did it.
example of a photographer who perfectly
I'm a
captured
human
the
time
human condition in
machine.
black and white?
A very understated
Anybody?
discovery that we're a time machine.
Max,
Bueller?
don't freak out. Not yet.
There you go, Victoria.
I'm gonna look
Why
at my
Arbus?
pencil case
My
again.
pencil case is still up. Keep it together, Max.
Obviously,
You
she
feel like
knows
totally
she's
haunted
been
by
here
the eyes
before.
of those sad mothers
When I
and
took my
children.
selfie, Jefferson asked me a question.
The other thing that was kind of
If he does
glitchy is when the
again,
camera
I'll know this
hits
is
the
for real.
ground, it has a very
to
realistic
yourself.
break in the original.
Seriously, though.
But in this
I could
game,
frame
for
any
some
one of
reason,
you
it
in a
hits
dark
the ground,
corner
and then you can see
and
like
capture you
glass
in a
shards
moment of
kind of
desperation.
coming out of the middle of the camera.
And any one of you could do that to
It
me.
doesn't look great. They fixed it just
Isn't
by
that too
having
easy?
less shards come out, but you
Too
can tell
obvious?
if you kind of rewind and watch.
What if Arbus
it
chose
wasn't the
to
best.
capture people at the height of their beauty or
It
innocence?
looked great in the original one, though.
She had a brilliant eye. So, she could have taken another approach.
I have to admit, I'm not a big fan of her work.
Okay, so now what we're
I
gonna do is we're gonna take a
prefer
selfie,
Robert Frank.
like we did before.
Me too, Victoria. He captured
And
the
just see what
essence of
happens.
post-war beat America. Shh. I believe Max has taken what you kids call a selfie.
It is pretty
A
fun to
dumb
just
word
let the
for a
lecture
wonderful
go.
photographic tradition.
They start talking dialogue that
Max has a gift.
I know I'm
you don't
not
hear if
doing
you just
this.
like
As you all know,
do all these
the
actions more
real.
quickly.
has been popular
I can
since
tell.
the
But he'll
early
just go on and on
1800s.
and on.
Your generation
So I
was
can
one of
go
the
back
first
in
to use
time.
images for selfie expression.
Man,
What
what would
if
you do
that
if you
girl
could just go
isn't
back in
dead
time?
yet?
I couldn't resist. The point
Can I
remains
save
that
her?
the portraiture has always been a vital aspect of art
She is gonna
and
try to save the
photography
girl in
for
the
I need to
basketball.
go to the bathroom quickly and
A
check it
noble
out.
thing.
Now, Max, since you've captured our interest and clearly want to join the conversation, can you please tell us the name of the process that gave birth to the first self-portraits?
I'm sorry, but I really have to use the bathroom.
Nice try, Max. But you're not going to get away that easy. We can talk more after class. Is there anybody
Oh,
here
shit.
who knows their
I've played this
Jefferson
game
wants
a
to
billion
keep me
times
out
and I
of
still can't
class.
remember the guy's name. I think
And
it's
I need time to
Daguerre.
save that girl.
Is it
A
Daguerre?
process that gave portraits a sharp,
Daguerreotypes.
reflective style like a mirror. Now you're totally stuck in the retro zone. Sad face.
Sad face.
Very good, Victoria.
What if I rewind again?
Hungarian process
Okay,
Even
so
though I
now
know
this is
her.
they were teaching you rewind
people's
mechanic.
faces,
The
making them
icon means you
extremely
can
popular
you
from the
learned a
1800s
useful
onward.
fact and you may be
The
able to
first
use
American
if you
daguerreotype-
rewind. So okay, all right, I'm getting to the rewind. So when you're talking to people, you hear that little sound, ding, 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 and you'll see that little quote bubble. So that means you can rewind. It's pretty cool to watch it go backwards. You know, she raises her hand, but we're going to rewind it to the point that we want to. I think we could do it here. No, it's going to make me go back to that. See a little dot in the middle? While you're rewinding, hold ZR to rewind faster. There you go.
Now, Max, since you've captured our interest,
And you're going to use this
clearly want
mechanic a
join the
lot in the
conversation,
game. You're
can
going to have a
you
conversation
please
with someone.
tell
You're
us
going
the
to
name of
learn
the process that
something.
gave
Maybe at some
birth
point to get
to
a
the
little
first
upset with you or
self-portraits?
whatever. You rewind and see, now we know the Daguerrean process.
The Daguerrean process.
And now we can answer it.
Invented by a French painter named Louis Daguerre around 1830.
Somebody has been reading as well as posing.
Now here you have
work,
to do
Max.
that. This is them teaching you the mechanic.
The Daguerrean
You can
process
see
made
Victoria's
portraiture
not happy with
hugely
us.
popular.
Look at us stare down.
Mainly
Whoa.
because it gave the subjects clear, defined features. You can learn more
But
when
throughout
you
the
actually
game,
finish
these things
reading the
are
assigned
mostly
chapters.
optional.
Max is so far way
So
ahead
it'll
of everyone.
behoove you to
And
try to
guys, don't
identify
forget the
those
deadline
things.
to
It can
submit
really
a
help
photo
you
in the
up your
Everyday Heroes
relationships with
contest.
people
I'll fly
and
out with the winner to
find
San
some
Francisco,
photos
where you'll be
sometimes, and just
feted
really
by the art
explore the game.
world. It's great exposure, and it can kickstart a career in photography. So Stella,
It's definitely one of the most
Melissa, get it
interactive
together.
mirror games.
Taylor,
There's so much to kind
don't
of find
hide.
and do.
I'm still waiting for your entry too. And yes, Max, I see you pretending not to see me.
Max, you are not crazy. You are not dreaming. It's time to be an everyday hero.
If we come back
Yes,
here, okay, we
Victoria,
can't take
you
a
still
picture
have to
again.
do your homework.
But Kate is still here.
Even if you're submitting your
Now, let me talk to Kate real quick
Nice answer, Max.
before we
Are you okay?
advance.
You look pale.
Kate, did we talk at all today?
This is the first time. What's wrong?
I'm sorry, I'm just dripping. Too much stress.
I know the feeling.
So now
I wish we didn't.
I can respond to
I do
her.
have
I
to go,
think
but
there is
we can
the
talk
ability
later if you
to
want.
rewind with
I'll
her.
see how
too.
I feel.
Let's see
Thanks,
what
Max.
happens. So now, like, say for example, like if I try to talk to her, it might not
Let's
let
talk
me.
later, Max.
See, she says, let's talk later. So now I'm going to rewind. I'm going to hit ZR to make it go faster. Almost there. Okay. Now I can talk to her again.
Nice answer, Max. Are you okay? You look pale.
Oh,
Kate,
was that just what I answered? Okay.
Did we talk at all today?
This is the first time.
Oh, okay.
What's wrong?
I'm sorry, I'm just dripping. Too much stress.
I know the feeling.
Okay, so now we can change the answer. So let's do the other one.
I have to go. Too much
Oh,
happening right
did I
now.
do that one already?
Sure.
All right. I think that was the one I did the first time. You can look at computers.
Wowzer, you are blowing
I could play
it.
this game all day.
Save that girl.
Okay.
I had my moment in the cave.
But yeah, there's definitely times where if you don't feel like you did a good answer, you can rewind and come back to it. So now we'll talk to this guy
Excuse
again.
me, Mr. Jefferson, can I talk to you for a moment?
Yes. Excuse you.
No, Victoria. Excuse us. I'd never let one of photography's future stars avoid handing in her picture.
I'm not avoiding, just...
Biding time, waiting for the elusive right moment.
That's a view from the other side
Exactly.
of the window in the
Max,
classroom.
don't wait too long. John Lennon once said that life is what happens while you're busy making other plans. Go on now. Don't let me stop you.
Okay, see the little quote bubble? So now I can rewind time. Oh, you can press L to quickly undo your previous action. So that'll just go right back to the dot. Pretty good little feat of programming, if you ask me.
Excuse me, Mr. Jefferson, can I talk to you for a moment?
Yes. Excuse you.
No, Victoria. Excuse us. I'd never let one of
I
photography's
should
future
rewind
stars
this
avoid
first look from
handing
time to
in her
time to
picture.
really get in the mood, right? Okay, so see now it says John Lennon said. You can use that as an option to talk. It's underlined, which usually means,
I'm
I
on
think
top of
always
it.
means, it's based
I
on
think John
information
Lennon
you
once said
rewound
that
time to
life
figure
is
out.
what happens while you're busy making other plans.
Max,
Nailed it.
you're on fire today. All the right answers. Good. Make sure you finish working on it by today.
Now, I wonder if he's really
I have
freaked
faith
out
in
by that. He's like, that was in my head. Okay, so we need to run to the bathroom. Unfortunately for us. Oops, sorry. You press, what's the run button? Is there a run button, or is that in the other game?
I hope I have enough time to get to the
We
bathroom.
will not play
Please,
the
please.
epic hallway music.
I
Game
can't
got a
tell
little
anybody.
little freeze there
They'll
for a
think
second.
I'm crazy.
Okay, ZR does make you run. You can see I'm starting to do a little max trap. right.
I hate that
Back to the bathroom.
nerds.
What's that got to do with anything?
Because if you send me
Okay, Max, retrace every step. I washed my face. I shredded my photo. Then the butterfly flew in. And I took a photo.
Leave them out of this bitch.
I can tell everybody Nathan Prescott is a punk ass who begs like a little girl and talks to himself.
You don't know who the fuck I am or who you're messing around with.
Where'd you get that? What are you doing?
Okay.
Come on, put that
So we
thing
need to
down.
stop
Tell me
this.
what to do.
Wowzer, it's happening
Have you ever
again.
tried coming out here?
You're going to get hurt. You are going to
Oh,
get in
okay.
hella
I don't think
more
I've ever
trouble
tried
for
just
this than
going out
drugs.
there.
Nobody would
All right,
ever
so
even miss your
I already know
punk
what
ass,
to
would
do.
they?
Don't worry.
That gun away from me, psycho!
Holy shit,
Shit.
I need a hammer to break it open.
No.
I need a hammer to break it open.
Okay, so see what happens when the screen goes black and
Max,
white?
don't
That
fuck
means you
around,
basically hit the dead
rewind.
end. Either you're gonna die or we're at a place that we shouldn't be. So that means we can rewind. Speed up or rewind with ZR.
Don't ever
I
tell
need
me
a
what to
hammer.
do. I'm so
Now, I know
sick
this is
of being
video game
trying to
logic, but
control
there's a
me.
hammer
You are
underneath
going to
here.
get in hella more trouble
We're
for
gonna
this
pick up
than
the hammer.
drugs.
Nobody would ever even
Now I'm
miss
gonna
your
do something
punk ass,
intentional.
would
I'm gonna
they?
wait.
Get that gun away from me, psycho!
Okay, hear the shot?
Shit.
Now, if I rewind time, back here,
Of
I
people
still have
trying
the
to
hammer.
control me.
You are
See,
going
it's
to
up
get
in the
in
top right
hella more
corner.
trouble for this
And
than
now I can come
drugs.
here and hit the
Nobody
bell.
would
So
ever
the
even
rules
miss your
of
punk ass, would they?
time
No way.
Don't
are that if
ever
you're
touch
holding
me
something,
again,
you
freak.
keep it held. But otherwise, all the events that are happening around you. Don't try to think about it. It's just the rules of
Another
time
shitty
travel in
day.
this game. So, pick up an item, turn back
That did
time.
not
And you can see what
happen.
happened is we hit the
This
bell,
cannot be real.
and that caused him to panic,
I just
and
saw
he
a
didn't
girl
shoot
get
her.
shot and then saved her. What the fuck is going on? Do not freak out.
Hey, do you hear that fire alarm? That means you should be outside.
I had to use the bathroom.
Girls always use that excuse.
Excuse for what?
For whatever you're up to, your face is covered in guilt.
The alarm tripped me out.
Then trip on out of here, missy. Or are you hiding something?
Definitely
Huh?
swear that the faces look
Thank you,
more
Mr.
like
Madsen.
the original game.
The situation is under control.
This
There's no
guy right
emergency
here, his face
Leave Miss
looks
Caulfield
so
alone,
bad
and
in the
please
original
turn off
game.
that
It
alarm
is
since that's your job.
almost amusing. If you want to see something funny, go find the original game and see what his face looks like. Most of the faces in this game look pretty good. The Principal Wells, not good. It was pretty bad. So they did fix it in the remaster. He looks
You
like
look a
a
little stressed
functional
out.
human being.
Are you okay?
I'm just a little worried about my future.
You're sweating pinballs. Is that all you're thinking about? You can always be upfront with me.
And we're going to
Max.
come up to our first
Or
major
have you done something wrong?
decision point
Is that it?
here. So you've seen that I've
Well,
made
Max,
decisions already.
Talk to me.
Usually it's 2 different decisions. These major decision points are usually met with crazy lens flares, bigger fonts, that sort of thing. These suggest major changes in the narrative. Now, a major change in a Life is Strange narrative is not going to be almost like having a totally different game going. They're, in the end, usually fairly minor in terms of storytelling, but they are major in that they do have a lot of impact on future things that happen. So just keep that in mind when you see these, that you really want to think them through. So here I have to decide, do I want to report what I saw in the bathroom, that Nathan had a gun, or do I just not want to talk about it? And for reasons that I know, I don't want to
I just
talk
got sick in class. Female
By
charge.
not
Except
talking
you're
about it,
wandering
it is going to
around like a
affect
zombie.
my
And do you
relationship
think that's
with
the first
many
time a student
characters
has
in
used
this
that
game.
line on me?
It's the
It
truth.
doesn't mean that that's
I
the
felt
best route
dizzy in
through.
Mr.
It just means it's
Jefferson's
a
Just
class.
tell
route
me what
through.
you're hiding. You can trust me.
There's nothing to hide. I got sick.
The other nice little thing
It happens,
is,
you
really
There's that
until
teen
you
toot
leave
again.
the
You know,
room
I've
in
heard
general,
enough. Don't
you
think I
can
don't know what
rewind.
goes on around here. You've only been
So that's
here
good. If
for
you
3
decide
weeks,
if
and
you
you're
decide
already
I've
causing
changed my
conflict.
mind,
I don't think
you
your
know,
parents will approve
let's-
when they find out.
let's do something.
Now get outside,
Maybe,
Miss
this
Class.
interaction doesn't do it for you.
Please.
Let's change our mind around. You can.
No, he does not.
It says the
buy
action will
that
have consequences.
at all.
Now, Max will always
I may have
say
just flushed my
something to the
scholarship
effect
down
of
the
maybe I
toilet.
should rewind time if we
Yes,
watch
I
it here.
could rewind.
Yeah,
and
I could
actually
rewind
tell
and
him
actually tell him the
truth.
truth. That doesn't mean that what you did is bad. It's just you made a decision. But early on, she will do that a lot to remind you that you can change your mind. I will not change my mind. And now we leave the school. Once you do these sort of screen changes, the leaving, the going downstairs, that sort of thing, now you can't rewind anymore. So that decision is permanent. But stick to it. There's really not many terrible decisions in this game. It just kind of changes the story, but there's no right way to play. So I would say so far, loading times are a little longer than you'd like them to be. By the time the game pops back up, you've almost kind of forgotten where you were. I don't think the faces are at the fidelity of some of the other consoles in terms of the remaster. But on the bright side, I feel like the frame rate's actually pretty good. I don't know what it exactly is, but it feels actually pretty good and consistent. A little bit of pop-in, but not too bad. I think this is a nice little addition to the Switch library. Certainly something for me to play all the time. You know, one little bug here, which seems to still be... Can you read that text? Watch, I'm going to get closer. See how the text gets bigger as you get closer? There was a bug where the text can be super tiny even when you're by it. I think this might be the first time I'm seeing the actual intended thing. Let me just entertain me for a second. How far away before the text disappears? I think it's still there. I think it's still there. So I think the text is just super, super tiny from a distance. Usually in the, I think of the original game, once you get reasonably close to something, the text will pop in there and not be as small. But yeah, a very early bug that I've seen a lot was the text would actually stay tiny, like it wasn't updating as you moved around. I'm not going to go too much further into this game. It's a narrative. Play it yourself. But you can see that the basic mechanic is going to be rewinding time. Watch, I'm going to rewind time right here. You can see the birds that just flew in the statue. They're going to fly away. Oh, are they? Maybe they didn't just fly in there. But the people that walked by are going to be back
before he blows my phone up.
over here. And, oh, we just got a text. Like I said, if you want to, you can ignore the text. They will show the mainline ones to you. I don't remember the blinking. I don't know, that's new. That's kind of to get your attention. These just pop up on the screen. But I really advise sort of
Okay,
just
I better get to
take
my
some
dorm
time and
grab
look at
that
them.
flash
They
drive.
can sometimes be borderline hilarious. So if you come over here, see, it actually says look on the statue. You see it? And if you look really closely, it says photo with the X button. So this the Y button. This bug is still here. That is not viewable. Like, what angle do you have to be on this statue to see the photo? I know it's there. Yeah, but you'll never be able to see it well. I know it's there. So if you're going to go photo hunting, here's a giveaway. Take a picture of the statue in the first scene in front of Blackwell Academy. And here I'll show you one more, and this takes advantage of time. This one was a tricky one to find. First couple times I played through. We're going to come here and talk to Justin. This was the guy that was talking to the cheerleader in the hallway.
Yo, Justin.
Check out the Max. Come to thrash?
Now you can see she's somewhat accepted by the skater guys.
Oh yeah? Bring it.
She's not the
What's
most
your first move
popular,
gonna be?
but you know, she's
jump?
kind of in with the nerd crowd.
You're such a poser. If you can't even name a simple nose slide or a tray flip, you should walk on.
All right. So she was asked a skateboard move to do. She didn't know one. So now we rewind. And because we talked to him,
Yo, Justin.
Check out the Max.
we learned some
Come to
moves.
thrash?
And now I came to nose slide.
I came to nose slide. But I'd love to see somebody do a tree flip.
Oh, sick. You're not a poser.
Nah.
Her
just can't
dorky
skate
dialogue
worth
is
shit.
just
Oh, check it.
so much
We're gonna
part of
destroy some rails
the
for
charm
you.
of this
What do you
game.
want to see?
All right. So we're going to have him do a tray flip.
Go for a tree flip.
Let's get Trevor all over that action.
Okay, he's going to do a tray flip.
Ow. Ooh.
Now he's on the ground. We'll come over and take a photo. So there you go. Another secret photo you can find in the game. Now, you would not be able to find that unless you actually talk to Justin, which you don't have to do. You can totally skip it. And even if you didn't rewind. So that's just all the little things you can do in this game. Now, I'm supposed to go back to the dorms. The dorms are going to be that way. Okay? But look at all this stuff. Look at all these people we can talk to. There's so much information you can get, and when you get that information, it can really help you otherwise. I always come over here and I forget. Okay, see these squirrels? Oftentimes you can take pictures of the squirrels. You should definitely investigate them if you see them. See some cigarette butts. There's no photo
gross.
opportunity.
At least switch to e-cigs.
Get some commentary on e-cigs. It's graffiti. I'm not sure if there's a photo over here. But again, you can start looking at posters and see some of the dorky stuff that happens.
I'm so not there.
It's just fun. That's kind of the charm of this game. If you want to play through once and just mainline it, I think you miss a lot of the charm. So I can say, you know, go ahead and play it how you want to play it, but there's really just a lot of charm to find. I think I'll finish off this first look, 12th look, 140th look. But first, I'm going to go here and return to the dorms. I think there's a guy on a table over here. He's pretty cool. Yeah, that guy. And I think there's a guy here. Yep, there's a guy here too. Pays to get to know your classmates. We press A. We go to the next scene. Now, there are 5 chapters in Life is Strange. Each one can be about, I want to say 2 to 3 hours. But if you really sort of mainline it, like, you know, I know, like, what you have to do. But when you play the game and it'll tell you what to do, usually you can figure out what to do. So in the beginning, it's like, okay, like my wife, I always joke to her, like, in the beginning, you have to go to the bathroom. And she just darted to the bathroom. And I said, no, you got to talk to the people in the hallway and whatever. But she was just doing what the game told her to do. And so obviously you can save a lot of time just by darting right to the bathroom. You know, so, you know, however you want to play it. So 2 to 3 hours, more like an hour and a half to 3 hours. I think there's a really big variance to what you do.
Flash drive.
So now she's telling you, I need to go to my room and get the flash drive for Warren. So let's just pretend I'm just going to go right there. Now, I could go right here. And boom, run into this. Now I gotta speak to Victoria.
Oh, look, it's Max Caulfield, the selfie hoe of Blackwell.
Obviously, she's not really happy with
What
me
a lame
after
gimmick.
what happened in the classroom.
Even Mark, Mr. Jefferson, falls for your wave hipster bullshit. The Daguerrean process, sir. You could barely even say that. I guess you got your meds filled.
I think that was new, actually. When she's walking around in a circle, I don't think that happens in the original game.
Since you know all the answers,
I never noticed that
I guess you have
last
to find another way into the dorm. We ain't moving.
I think she pretty much just sits there and just talks
Hold
to
that
you.
pose.
That was pretty cool. Oh, here's one of my favorite lines.
So original. Don't worry, Max. I'll put a vintage filter on it right before I post it all over social medias. Now, why don't you go fuck your selfie?
Oh yes, Victoria. I'll get your
So
bony
good.
ass out of my way.
I will leave it to you to solve how to get past to Victoria, and that's why this narrative game actually does seem to have more action than normal games. I will leave that to you, but here's another little thing. Again, you don't have to talk to these characters, but we're going to come here and talk to this character. Oh no, is it not going to let me? Oh, it's not going to let me. Oh. I think once I talk to Victoria, they wouldn't let me do it anymore. That's sad. I want to talk to her. Well, if you talk to her, something interesting could happen that using time can actually fix. Okay, so see what's happening here, and this is why I can't talk to her. This guy's going to paint something, and he's going to have a nice normal time. The clues here are the paint can, and Victoria. And this room. Now, if I rewind time right now, he's going to come back down. And there he is. He's right there. So that's going to get you past Victoria. But I think that's going to be an end to this first 1240th look. So excited! Life is Strange is on the Nintendo Switch. I believe it is $40. I should check that. Let me check that. Hold on a second. I believe it's $40. I actually pre-ordered it back when they finally announced that it was coming to Switch. And I got it today. And I actually was really excited that the price wasn't that bad. But, hang on. Yes, $40. And it comes with Before the Storm, which is the prequel to this game, where you'll play as a character named Chloe, which we are going to meet more formally later in this game. The prequel is great. Oh, look, you can see I lost my opportunity. The prequel is great too. It looks a lot better as well. So you get 2 games for the price of 1. It's really just well worth it. Do I need to tell you it's the best game of all time? It really is. It's my favorite game of all time. All right. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to listen to Dad's After Dark show every 2 weeks. And don't forget to listen to the Nintendo Dads podcast every week. Yes, that's right. They are twice as many as we are. I hope you enjoyed this first look. I've been John Blanco. Good night, Dads.